So I'm waiting for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to download on my Switch, and so I decided to catch up on stuff that I missed today news-wise, because believe it or not, I don't spend all of my time paying attention to the news. So I am going through, and then I decided to watch the Oval Office video today, the president meeting with the president of South Africa.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down, and just put this on, it's right behind you.
And when I say that even I was shocked by our president's behavior, you gotta believe me. Like, I know I am a long-time Trump hater. I think the guy is among the worst Americans to ever exist, and certainly among our worst presidents. But the extent to which his performance today was an embarrassment to the nation really has to be seen to be believed. More embarrassing than the performance was just how disturbing it was. It's obvious that the president is a racist. I mean, that's been true for a very long time. But there is a difference between ordinary run-of-the-mill racism and then the kind of virulent ideological racism that I think the president sometimes displays. And in particular, President Trump was ranting about this myth, this conspiracy theory, that the government of South Africa has essentially made it open season on white Afrikaners such that they can be killed at will and their land stolen. Now, this isn't true. This is just straightforwardly false. And I think it's really important to say this. This is false. This is not a thing that's happening. It is made up. It is made up by internet white supremacists. As best I can tell, the South African Constitution does have a provision for the expropriation of private land, what you may know as an American as eminent domain. But a particular program of stealing the land of white farmers and then killing them, which is what Trump said in the Oval Office was happening, is not a thing. It's made up. It's fake.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened.
But if you know anything about this conspiracy theory, you know that it really does circulate on the most gutter white supremacist forums you can imagine. It is very popular among people who would align themselves with the international alt-right or the international white nationalist movement. It's real gutter stuff, frankly. And that's why I think this is newsworthy. It's not newsworthy that the president is racist. By no means is it newsworthy that the president is racist. But being president, the job of being president, is as much about information flows as it is literally anything else. It is a job in which you're managing information coming your way, you're managing personnel, you're delegating important tasks, and you are making decisions about the kind of tasks that demand your immediate attention and the kind of tasks that you can put off for later. And it is significant, right, that the president's information flow, to the extent that it exists, to the extent that it exists beyond cable news and Twitter or whatever, includes extreme white supremacist conspiracy theories, in that the president is so immersed in this stuff that he brings printouts of it to an Oval Office meeting with a head of state and demands that that head of state look at it as if it's real intelligence, as if it's real events. It's one step removed, frankly, from the president grabbing a copy of the Turner Diaries and demanding that a head of state read it. And for those of you who don't know, the Turner Diaries are an infamous white supremacist tract, I believe written in the 1970s, that would go on to inspire, I mean, frankly, a lot of murder. inspired the white supremacist group The Order in the 1980s and their string of killings across the Pacific Northwest, inspired some South African white supremacists, including an Afrikaans group called, funny enough, The Order. I believe The Order is the name of the group in the book. And then it inspired what was the deadliest single act of terrorism on American soil prior to 9/11, which is the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. Those are the waters the president is swimming in. And I should say, this is the kind of propaganda that would inspire in 2015 a young man named Dylan Roof to go into a church and kill 9 black people. This is the water the president is swimming in. This is the kind of information he's taking in. And that's a story. That is very significant. That is something that I think demands the kind of scandal-style coverage that the political press is currently providing for the fact that the president, or the former president, Joe Biden, is old. That level of scandal-mongering, I think, is more appropriate for this revelation that we got from this Oval Office meeting that the President of the United States, who ostensibly represents 330 million people in a large, pluralistic, diverse country, is ranting about white supremacist conspiracy theories. And worse, those white supremacist conspiracy theories are, or form, part of the administration's foreign policy, right? They shape things that the administration is actively doing right now, from the foreign aid it's deciding to send to the refugees it's deciding to take. We've ended our asylum program, except for alleged Afrikaner refugees from this supposed white genocide. But that white genocide doesn't exist. It's fake. Right now, other than those aforementioned policies, this is all just rhetoric from the president. But there is this question of when it's going to become more than rhetoric. And there's this question, just as important as the question of the president's information flows, which is who is he surrounded by? Obviously, Stephen Miller is a freak, but who else is handing information to the president? What are these people reading? What world are these people stewing in? Are we being led, is the country being led, by people who wouldn't have been out of place at the Unite the Right march in Charlottesville in 2017? I think we are. I think it's obviously true that we are. And I think it should be a bigger scandal. I don't know. I think that of the things the American people deserve to know about their president, one of them should be that we basically elected David Duke, or at least a little cadre of mini David Dukes.